gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Morning, the man accused of murdering a young woman from Nepal is expected to appear before a judge for the first time in the case. Community members are asking Houstonians to pack the courtroom for the hearing. Matt Doherty is live from the Harris County Jail this evening with a preview for us. Matt.
Bobby Shah is being held in the county jail without bond tonight. Nepali community leaders are demanding justice and say they still have no clear answer as to why this could have happened.
Nobody has a right to, kill her.
It's been one week.
Damn. So we have a Nepali student who came over here to study. And she was deleted by an older man, it appears. And this is a very sad story because the woman's family presumably is not all there, right? They're not in the vicinity where they can immediately be of service, of use, of help. And, she's completely left alone in this very real, harsh environment of Houston.
Weeks since 21-year-old Nepali immigrant Muna Pandey's body was found inside of her apartment. She'd been shot 3 times in the torso and once in the back of the head, execution style, prosecutors say. The suspect is the man seen in this still frame from a security camera outside of Pandey's apartment unit, 51-year-old Bobby Shah. Shah is being held without bond, charged with capital murder.
How that person can do it, I cannot even think about it.
Nepalese Association of Houston board member Drona Gautam knew Pandey from the restaurant where she once worked.
Not only Nepalese community, I request every community to come join us tomorrow and support for Muna justice.
Tomorrow, the Nepali community leader is asking members of his organization, as well as the rest of Houston, to pack the courtroom where Bobby Shah will appear before a judge.
We're going to ask for the maximum penalty for this, whoever did this criminal person.
Gautam says the murder is still the primary topic of discussion in Houston's Nepali community.
So this is the man who killed this young lady. Their relationship is going to be drawn into question, and hopefully we can figure out all the details and all the facts. But it's not looking good.
He says the one question nobody can answer with any confidence is why.
We really don't know what exactly happened. We don't know what is the motive behind it.
I'm told that Pandey's mother is still trying to get her travel visa so that she can come to Houston and say goodbye to her only child. Back to you.
We'll take it from here. Matt Doherty tonight. Thank you.
Search is on for a suspect in the shooting death of a young woman from Nepal who came to this country to go to school.
Houston police released a search.
And it's wild how people are sending their kids to the United States to get a better education, to have a better life. And we cannot guarantee their safety. There's just so much crime going on in the States. The criminal element is completely out of control, and it's coming from everywhere. It's hard to even navigate truly, in this country and feel safe. Unfortunately, it's sad to say, but that is the reality that we have come to.
Surveillance image of the suspect as friends of the victim remember her. Jason Miles live from HPD Southwest Station with more on this. Jason, I know this is resonating in the Nepali community here.
Yeah, and it's a tight-knit community here in Houston. This afternoon, they're sharing news of this homicide and recalling this young lady's life that ended, obviously, way too soon.
These are among the photos being shared of 21-year-old Muna Pandey, days after what appears to have been her brutal murder.
And, it looks like she was very photogenic, very attractive young lady. And, you know, you wonder how this woman, a woman of her caliber, right, would run into this elderly man. So it's yet to be seen what exactly happened, but she kind of looks like, I mean, I know the Nepalese, I think that's how you pronounce it, or Nepalis, you know, they don't like to be compared to Indians, I guess, but she kind of resembles an Indian Kylie Jenner in this picture, not gonna lie.
Muna Pandey, days after what appears to have been her brutal murder.
She had like 3 gunshots, and she was laid down on the bed with head down.
Drona Gautam serves on the board of the Nepalese Association of Houston and is in touch with Pandey's family back home in Nepal during this difficult time, including her mother.
This is very unfortunate to her because she's the only, her child. She's the only one child of the mother. So she's very devastated.
Pandey, who I'm told came to Houston in 2021 to go to school, was found dead Monday evening inside her unit at this apartment complex on West Airport. Complex staff told officers that prior to calling 911, they received an anonymous tip about a body inside her unit. Gautam says there were no signs of forced entry when he and others visited the scene. Today, HPD released this photo of a suspect Gautam believes he may have struck days before Pandey was actually found.
Wow. So, I mean, he was pretty much caught red-handed coming in and leaving the home or the apartment. And there he goes right there on the surveillance footage. You can't make this stuff up.
What mom said is her phone always been online, but after Saturday night, phone was offline.
Pandey's death is reverberating in the Nepali community on social media and at places like Kathmandu Curry and Bar, where she was well known.
It's very bad news.
Owner Ram Sapkota says he first met Pandey shortly after she came to town.
She was very smart, loyal, honest, and beautiful. You know, we lost her. We are very sad.
Gautam says he's working with the Nepal consulate to help coordinate travel for Pandey's mother as police work to catch her killer.
Hopefully the investigation will come up with some idea how this happened.
And right now, friends and family also working to establish a fundraiser to help the family with travel and funeral expenses. I'm told Pandey did attend HCC, Houston Community College, at some point, but I have not heard back from the university about her current status as a student. Reporting from the Southwest Side, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
Yeah, hopefully someone comes forward with any helpful information. Jason, thank you.
Tonight, the man charged with capital murder in the death of a student from Nepal is being held without bond after waiving his appearance in probable cause court.
And we're learning new details about what happened the night Muna Pandey was murdered in her Southwest Houston apartment.
And the man actually looks Indian, and we know that Indian men have been getting a lot of smoke online. Now, he could be Nepalese or whatever. That's a possibility, but you know, I don't think there's really that many people from Nepal in the States, and they're very much a tight-knit community, and they very much can pass as Indian, and I'm sure they have, I mean, the country's right next to each other, so I'm sure they have a lot of similarities when it comes down to it, but I mean, the Indians have been getting a lot of smoke on Twitter, and this definitely doesn't look good for the overall image. So I'm interested to see the details as to what could make this man end up crashing out and deleting this young woman. These super curry gremlins are on demon time.
Out bond after waiving his appearance in probable cause court.
And we're learning new details about what happened the night Muna Pandey was murdered in her Southwest Houston apartment. That's where Matt Doherty joins us live with the very latest tonight. Matt?
Yeah, less than one day after police shared an image of the suspect from this apartment complex, he was caught. Houston police shared this still image from a surveillance camera yesterday of a man leaving the apartment unit of 21-year-old Muna Pandey. Within hours, court documents state he was identified by multiple tipsters.
Bail will be denied.
Tonight, 51-year-old Bobby Shah waived his first appearance in court. He's charged with the capital murder of Pandey. Prosecutors say surveillance video outside Pandey's home from Saturday night shows Shah and the young woman standing outside of her apartment unit. They say Pandey is seen holding her purse, a shopping bag, and a Nike shoebox. Prosecutors say Shah tells her repeatedly to open the door, to which she responds, quote, "What are you going to do?" They say Shah then racks the slide of his pistol and tells her to open the door.
Wow, so that's why they didn't find any forced entry, because he pulled up with the strap and he cocked that thing in front of her and was showing that he meant business, and that is a very scary, frightening situation for a young woman to be in.
The owner of this cell phone store says Pandey was one of his employees. He said he had been texting her about her schedule, but then she quit responding. On Monday, police say they received an anonymous call telling them there was a body inside of her apartment unit. Once inside, prosecutors say police found her body. Muna Pandey had been shot 4 times, 3 times in the torso and a 4th time in the back of her head.
Damn.
Execution style, an officer stated. Prosecutors say the video shows Shah leaving after that. They believe he took her cell phone with him. According to court documents, Pandey once worked at this restaurant on Hillcroft. The documents state that Shah was a frequent customer there, and his identity was confirmed by one of the restaurant's owners. Prosecutors state they got another tip from a woman who identified Shah as the man in the surveillance photo. The woman claims she first met Shah in 2012 after connecting with him through a sugar daddy website.
Oh, wow. So there you have it. She was the sugar baby, he was the sugar daddy, and he was coming to collect on that sugar. Lord have mercy. And when he came to collect, maybe she wasn't having it and he blew her brains out. That is what unfortunately looks like is what happened. And, you know, we've talked about prostitution in Houston because that's ultimately what it is. And you know, I get it, man. She's coming from a third world country. She comes to the States. She's working these little, you know, job at a cell phone store, job at a curry restaurant. But meanwhile, she's turning tricks on seeking arrangements. Now, I did do a video, way back in the day where there was this African guy who deleted this stripper. And you know, there was a woman who was a domestic violence, you know, prevention person, I guess, I don't know exactly what her job was, but she was saying that there were at least 60 to 80,000 intercourse workers in Houston. That would mean, or 60 to 100,000. Well, no, she said 60 to 80,000 in Houston. That would basically mean that 6.9% to 10% of the women in Houston are involved in this type of work, and it's very dangerous, and a lot of them are doing it on their own. And this, obviously, if you had some type of maybe male leadership or some type of, you know, maybe even just friends to direct you in this scenario, she would have never opened that door. You don't open the door for a trick that you're turning, you know, especially if he's angry and he's looking to, you know, do something crazy. That's just not what you do. But unfortunately, she didn't have that assistance to stop her from making this grave mistake.
Woman who identified Shah as the man in the surveillance photo. The woman claims she first met Shah in 2012 after connecting with him through a sugar daddy website. Pandey came to Houston to attend HCC. We're told her mother is on her way here tonight. Back to you.
We'll take it from here. Such a tragedy. Matt, thank you.
This afternoon, we are learning new details from court documents about the murder of a college student from Nepal. Just 2 hours ago, the man charged with capital murder in Muna Pandey's killing went before a judge on a gun charge related to this case. Bobby Shah has been granted $2,000 bond for that charge, but he will not be released from jail because he's being held without bond for capital murder. Ugochi Iloko has new details about the victim's possible connection to the suspect.
After combing through court documents, we learned that 21-year-old Muna Pandey previously worked at a restaurant on Hillcroft, where the restaurant owner confirmed that her alleged killer was a frequent customer there at the time. Then we found out through court records that a different woman claimed to have met that same suspect on a sugar daddy website. This is 51-year-old Bobby Shah, who's charged with the capital murder of Muna Pandey. Prosecutors say in court documents, surveillance video outside Pandey's home from Saturday night shows Shah and the young woman standing outside of her apartment unit. They say Pandey is seen holding her purse, a shopping bag, and a Nike shoebox. Prosecutors say Shah tells her repeatedly to open the door, to which she responds, "What are you going to do?" They say Shah then racks the slide of his pistol and tells her to open the door. On Monday, police say they received a 911 call telling them there was a body inside of her apartment unit. An officer stated the 21-year-old was found shot 4 times. Prosecutors say video shows Shah leaving the apartment and appears to be carrying the victim's purse. The owner of a cell phone store says he was texting Pandey about her work schedule, but she stopped responding. Investigators believe Shah took Pandey's cell phone after he allegedly killed her. We're told Pandey is an only child and that her mother is trying to get her visa application expedited so she can catch a flight to Houston from Nepal. We have more details on this case and investigation available on our website, khou.com. Reporting in downtown Houston, Ugochi Iloka, KHOU 11 News.
Morning, the man accused of murdering a young woman from Nepal is expected to appear before a judge for the first time in the case. Community members are asking Houstonians to pack the courtroom for the hearing. Matt Doherty is live from the Harris County Jail this evening with a preview for us. Matt.
Bobby Shah is being held in the county jail without bond tonight. Nepali community leaders are demanding justice and say they still have no clear answer as to why this could have happened.
Nobody has a right to, kill her.
It's been 1 week since 21-year-old Nepali immigrant Muna Pandey's body was found inside of her apartment. She'd been shot 3 times in the torso and once in the back of the head, execution-style, prosecutors say. The suspect is the man seen in this still frame from a security camera outside of Pandey's apartment unit, 51-year-old Bobby Shah. Shah is being held without bond, charged with capital murder.
How that person can do it, I cannot even think about it.
Nepalese Association of Houston board member Drona Gautam knew Pandey from the restaurant where she once worked.
Not only Nepalese community, I request every community to come join us tomorrow and support for Muna justice.
Tomorrow, the Nepali community leader is asking members of his organization, as well as the rest of Houston, to pack the courtroom where Bobby Shah will appear before a judge.
We're going to ask for the...
So they definitely are looking to fry this man and get justice for this young lady. But this just shows the dangers of intercourse work and the dangers of women just thinking that they can get online and turn tricks. I'm telling you guys right now, the worst offenders when it comes to this type of abuse are going to come from the tricking community because of the way that they deal with and have relationships with the opposite sex. So, it's all fun and games when he's cash apping you and zelling you and doing all this stuff. But when he comes to collect that sugar and you ain't trying to get none or give none, then, it's not going to be a pretty sight.
Maximum penalty for this, whoever did this criminal person.
Gautam says the murder is still the primary topic of discussion in Houston's Nepali community. He says the one question nobody can answer with any confidence is why.
We really don't know what exactly happened. We don't know what is the motive behind it.
I'm told that Pandey's mother is still trying to get her travel visa so that she can come to Houston and say goodbye to her only child. Back to you.
We'll take it from here. Matt Doherty tonight. Thank you.
Accused of murdering a Nepali college student in her Southwest Houston apartment faced a judge. Ugochi Iloka joins us live outside the Harris County Criminal Courthouse. Ugochi, a lot of people remembering the victim.
Yes, and members of the Nepalese Association of Houston, friends and family of 21-year-old Muna Pandey showed up to her accused killer's hearing today, where he was given no bond until a proof evident hearing is held in the next 90 days. Take a look at your screen. This is new video of 51-year-old Bobby Shah in court this morning, as well as supporters of Muna there too. He is charged with capital murder and Pandey's death. He was seen on security camera outside of Pandey's apartment unit the night she was killed. Investigators say she was found shot to death in her apartment just over a week ago. When Shah was pulled over by police last week, investigators say they found a gun in his car. And new today in court, prosecutors tell us police also found Shah wearing blood-stained clothes that match what he was seen wearing on surveillance video at the victim's apartment. Here's what the prosecutor, the defense attorney, and a supporter of Muna had to say about what happened in court today.
We are happy that he got denied on the bond.
He's excited to get this case moving so he can prove his innocence.
Can only imagine what Muna's mother is going through, being halfway across the world. And so I wanted them to know what would happen in court, what they could expect.
Yeah, and Pandey's mother, we're told, just today finally got her travel visa approved, and she plans to head down to Houston this week from Nepal to finally lay her only child to rest. Reporting live outside the Harris County Criminal Courthouse, Ugochi Iloka, KHOU 11 News.
A heartbreaking journey for that mother. Ugochi Iloka, thank you.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
All right, Ramisha, thank you for that. Well, a 51-year-old man who is charged with capital murder in the killing of a 21-year-old college student from Nepal is expected to appear in court and did earlier this afternoon.
That's right. The nursing student at Houston Community College was found dead Monday inside of her home on West Airport Boulevard. Fox 26's Leslie Delaspore is live there after speaking with people who knew her. Leslie.
That's right. Those who knew Muna say that they want justice for her after police say 51-year-old Bobby Shah is now charged with killing her.
I think the first day I cried, but by the second day it was more like anger towards this violence.
Tanatan Rodriguez is puzzled about why this man, 51-year-old Bobby Shah, allegedly killed her former co-worker.
My understanding is that she didn't have family here. So who is this man? What's he doing in her apartment?
I mean, it's kind of obvious once you put two and two together. I mean, he was clearly her sugar daddy. They clearly had contact. She let him in even though she was afraid of him. Man, it's just the dangers of intercourse work. That's really what it comes down to.
He was found dead inside this apartment Monday, August 26th, with multiple gunshot wounds. But according to a timestamp on this surveillance image and police, Bobby Shah was seen leaving this apartment August 24th, just before 10 p.m.
Why are these crimes happening? And we have to have these conversations. We have to address this.
Which is what the Nepalese Association of Houston is trying to do as they work to rally funds and support for Muna's parents to say their last goodbyes either here or in Nepal.
The process goes, they apply to the U.S. Embassy in Nepal. They already did, and I think they're waiting for the interview date. And they will go to interview date, and by that time we are waiting for the death certificate from the medical examiner. As soon as we have that, we'll forward it to the country back home, and hopefully they'll submit their death certificate. Then we are just hoping she will grant her for visa and she will be able to come here.
When you heard the news about this happening, I mean, what were your initial thoughts? The fact that she is here with no family, by herself, a young girl trying to get, a better life for herself.
Basically, whenever when I was driving, when I got the call, I had to park first because I know that girl. Personally, I knew her. When I got the news, I had to pull over on the side to breathe myself. It really happened.
And at 6, I'll have more from the Nepalese Association from Houston about their efforts to bring her mother here. Live in Southwest Houston, Leslie Delaspore, Fox 26 News.
Bond was denied for the man accused of killing a nursing student over the weekend. Bobby Singh Shah is charged with capital murder for the shooting death of 21-year-old Muna Pandey. Court records revealed her own security camera provided some of the best clues in this case. ABC 13's Jessica Willey is live after speaking to one of the last people she talked to before her death. Jess?
Erica, court records state that Muna Pandey was murdered on Saturday, but it wasn't until Monday after an anonymous person called her complex here to report a body inside her apartment that she was found. An investigator saying that one gunshot wound was execution style. Police believe these two knew each other, but they don't know to what extent. The suspect seen on camera record state forcing her inside her apartment at gunpoint. Her boss says just 40 minutes earlier, she was locking up the cell phone store where she worked. Outside the apartment where Muna Pandey lived and died, a growing memorial to a young woman who had plans.
She was going to graduate in December, and she wants to do the digital marketing.
This man, who wants to remain anonymous for his privacy, manages the cell phone store where she worked. She was not only an employee, he says, she was a friend.
She was full of joy. She used to believe in live life to the fullest.
On Saturday, he talked to the 21-year-old HCC student from Nepal around 6:45. He saw her on the store's security camera, but never talked to her again.
So I was checking the cameras and she closed the store at 8:06. And then I texted her on Sunday at afternoon. So I was making my schedule for the week. I was like, do you want extra hours? And she didn't respond. And then I sent her the schedule too, around 4 o'clock. She didn't respond.
On Monday, Pandey was found dead from multiple gunshot wounds inside her apartment. Her security camera captured her with this man. Wednesday, he was identified as Bobby Singh Shah, and a detailed criminal complaint revealed a timeline. Video from the victim's camera allegedly showing Shah forcing Pandey with her hands full of bags and boxes inside at gunpoint. She's asking what he's going to do. Between 8:30 and 9, a neighbor heard a loud thumping. At 9:48, the suspect leaving with one of the bags Pandey had carried in. Police received tips about his identity, saying the two frequented the same restaurant. One tipster saying she recognized him from a sugar daddy website 10 years ago. He was arrested Wednesday night. Police recovered what's believed to be the murder weapon. Only ABC 13 was there today as Houston police and crime scene investigators searched Shah's Northwest Harris County apartment on Crossroads. At the same time, the 51-year-old was supposed to be in court.
Bail will be denied.
He waived his appearance. The hearing officer denied bond. Police saying initially this was a robbery attempt, but Pandey's friends believe there's more to it.
I want to know why. Whatever happened to her, she didn't.
Yeah, so police are saying it's a robbery attempt. Maybe he was trying to get the money back that he tricked off on her. That is a very possible, situation that could have occurred.
Deserve it, actually.
And police did not find the victim's cell phone here on the scene, so certainly that was one of the things they were looking for today. Shah does not have an attorney of record just yet. He is due back in court on Tuesday.
This time, we're hearing from the mother of murdered Nepali student Muna Pandey. She spoke with a journalist from her home in Nepal about losing her daughter here in Houston.
Pandey's accused killer appeared in court today on a related gun charge, but is also charged with capital murder. Jason Miles has followed this story since the start. He is live downtown with a new reaction this evening. Jason.
That suspect, Bobby Shah, appeared in court, as you said, this morning. He's being held without bond on that capital murder charge. His alleged victim's mother in Nepal saying he deserves the maximum punishment. Right now, she is planning to make the very long journey from Nepal to Texas after receiving this awful news.
In this emotional interview with a U.S.-based journalist who covers true crime involving South Asia, Muna Pandey's mother says she escaped an abusive relationship with Pandey's father, later raising money from the community to send her only child to America to get an education and have a better life.
She was supporting herself, she was supporting her mom.
This man, who doesn't want to be fully identified, is also from...
So, I mean, the numbers just aren't adding up. They're saying she was supporting herself. She was supporting her mom, but how is she supporting them both working at a very small cell phone store that probably doesn't get much traffic? Let's just keep it real.
Nepal, and considered himself a big brother figure to Pandey since they started working together at a cell phone store as she took college classes as well.
And then we used to talk about what she wants to do with her life and everything.
He says he knew something was wrong when the aspiring nurse failed to answer several text messages after leaving work at exactly 8:06 Saturday night. That's less than 2 hours before a surveillance camera captured her accused killer, Bobby Shah, leaving her apartment. He appeared in court today for the first time on related gun charges and is accused of shooting Pandey 4 times, including once in the head. According to court records, the tipster who saw Shah in that surveillance image recognized him from a previous interaction on a sugar daddy dating app. But right now, there is no indication that activity has any ties to Pandey's murder. Court records show Shah frequented this Nepali restaurant where Pandey once worked. That's how her friend and manager believes they met.
Used to come over there, talk to the ladies working over there, give them big tips and all that.
He's among those now mourning Pandey and feeling for her mother more than 8,000 miles away.
And there is a GoFundMe set up to help Pandey's mother with travel and funeral expenses. Meanwhile, suspect Bobby Shah due back in court next Tuesday on that capital murder charge. Reporting live downtown, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
And we'll be sure to continue to follow this investigation, including Tuesday in court. Jason, thank you.
Also developing, the accused gunman in the deadly shooting of a 21-year-old student from Nepal was back in court this morning. Our Rochelle Turner has the latest from the Harris County Criminal Justice Center.
Bobby Shah was back in court today. It only lasted about 10 minutes. The judge heard probable cause and denied his bond. The 51-year-old is charged with capital murder. Our cameras were rolling when Bobby Shah walked into the courtroom. He is accused of killing 21-year-old Muna Pandey. She's a student from Nepal who was studying nursing in Houston. Last week, she was found lying in her bed with multiple gunshot wounds to her torso, according to court records. Investigators said she also had a single gunshot wound to the back of her head. 2 days later, police released a surveillance image time-stamped at 9:48 p.m. on Saturday showing who is believed to be Shah leaving Pandey's apartment. Investigators have yet to determine a motive for the killing. The relationship between Pandey and Shah is not clear. Several members from the Nepalese Association of Houston was in court today with several people who knew Muna.
We are happy that he got denied on the bond, and I appreciate whoever working towards it, and I really appreciate everyone is helping towards this case and supporting us and Muna's mom.
The prosecutor and defense attorneys also spoke about today's case.
I felt it was incumbent upon us to definitely ask for no bail in this case. I believe he poses a grave risk of danger to our community.
Yeah, and he definitely does. The way he crashed out on this woman, I mean, it's just... A lot of these dudes are not in control of their emotions, and they invest, or they believe what they believe to be invest in a woman, and what happens is they get burned in some way, or they feel like they aren't getting their money's worth in these sugar baby, sugar daddy situations. And in this case, he completely crashed out. So it's just horrible to see. But we have to really weigh what actually happened and also use this as a learning experience to say, hey man, A lot of these young ladies need to move way differently, because this is the grave danger that they're faced with on an everyday basis if they continue with the same lifestyle. Because these super curry gremlins are on demon time.
The evidence that he's provided us, the conversations that he's had with us, there's no reason for us to believe that he is not guilty of the case that he's been charged with, which is capital murder. And we're looking forward to proving his innocence in the court of law.
We also learned that Munya's mother is flying in from Nepal. She's expected to be in Houston in the next few days to attend her daughter's funeral. Now, as for Shah, his next court appearance will be sometime in the next 90 days. Reporting from the Harris County Criminal Justice Center, I'm Rochelle Turner, KPRC 2 News.